This is session 3 of a full soccer session for beginner teams that focuses on improving decision making while dribbling, knowing when to drive through a space or turn away from the pressure. This builds on from the previous session. If you missed session 2, I'll leave a link in the top right. This session will be broken down into an introductory game, a technical activity, a progression from the technical activity, and a small-sided game. For the setup of the session, you'll need a 25 by 35 yard area divided in half with 4 goals in each of the corners per half. As the players arrive to your session, get them into teams of 2 or 3 with 1 soccer ball and designate them to a side to play on. The teams will be attacking and defending 2 goals similar to the previous session. You'll want to remind players that they should dribble with their head up and try to use a quick change of speed and direction with the skill to beat the defender. If 1 goal is blocked, they should try and work the ball to the space on the opposite side, either through dribbling or passing. For the technical activity, remove the goals from the corners and halfway line. Give each player a ball and create 9 gates 2 yards apart that players can dribble through. Players will use their right foot first and dribble through as many gates as possible. For each gate they dribble through, they can get a point. At the end of the round, the player with the most points will be the winner. You can repeat this 2 to 3 times, then swap over to the left foot. You can also introduce a rule where if players bump into each other, then the points for the round will reset and they will have to get through the gates again to regain their points. Encourage players to dribble with their head up so they can look for gates that are open, and once they see the gate is open, that's when they should accelerate towards it with bigger touches. For the next part of the technical activity, players will now be learning different turns they can use to turn away from pressure. Some of the turns you can teach your players can be the drag back, an outside hook, an inside hook, a Cruyff turn, or an L turn. I would only select 2 or 3 of these turns to learn, depending on the level of your team. To score points now, the players must dribble through the gate and then perform a turn back through the gate that they came through. Repeat this 2 to 3 times, then change the turn and repeat again. Make sure they're practicing using their left and their right foot. The players should combine the turn with a quick change of speed and direction into space. Before the progression, this is just a reminder, if you're enjoying the content, please make sure to like and subscribe so I know this is the kind of stuff you want to see. And make sure you can share this with a coach who would find this helpful as well. I also have an email list in the description where you can get drills and ideas straight to your inbox weekly. For the progression, keep the setup the same, however divide your players into groups of 3 with 1 ball per group. I only have 1 group in this demonstration to avoid too much going on, but you can have all your groups working in the same area. The player with the ball at their feet is going to be the attacker, with the other 2 players becoming the blockers. The attacker must try and dribble through as many gates as possible before time runs out. However, they cannot dribble through a gate if a blocker is standing between it. Players must dribble with their head up and look to see the gates that are open and see the position of the blockers. Players must use skills and body feints to move the blocker away from the gates that they want to dribble through. Then use a change of speed and direction to take their touch towards their desired gate. If a gate is blocked, this is where you can encourage your players to use a turn to turn away from the pressure and to quickly find another gate. Make sure to rotate players to ensure every player has had a chance to be the attacker twice. The attacker with the most amount of points at the end of 2 rounds will be the winner in their group. This activity can also work in pairs if you have an odd number. For the small-sided game, divide your area into half again to create 2 pitches with 2 goals per pitch. This will be a regular small-sided game, however if a player is able to dribble between 2 players to help the team score a goal in the same phase of play, then the goal will be worth 3 points instead of 1. The rule should encourage your players to keep their head up and constantly scan for gaps and spaces they can accelerate through. If the gap closes up, they can then choose to use a turn to turn away from the pressure. Like, subscribe, peace.